it should come as no surprise that I am a huge fan of Jack White, not only as a musician, but also as an entrepreneur. From the early days of the White Stripes all the way up through his current solo career, his retail stores, his Third Man pressing plant, guitar effects pedals, baseball bats. The dude does it all, and he does it all with a passion that is absolutely unmatched. I will dive into my collection of Third Man albums on this episode of Talking About Records. My name is G.I. Sanders from NTX Vinyl, a small chain of independent shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you're not local, but you are in the U.S., you can shop online at ntxvinyl.com, and would love it if you'd subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Follow us on social media across Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Let's talk about Jack White and Third Man Records. Like I mentioned in the intro, huge fan. I don't think that would come as a surprise to anyone who knows me or knows my channel here. I have collected not everything, because that would just be an entire room in itself, but I've got a crate and a half of records that are all Third Man related. Of course, I've got a ton of Jack solo stuff and White Stripe stuff, including some of his Vault box sets, and also some stuff from his other artists and other stuff that he's put out along the way on the label. If you don't know Jack, or you don't know what he's all about, he is very much a DIY type of dude, which is why I appreciate him. He puts his heart into everything he does, and it shows in almost everything he does. When you go through these albums, or you watch videos of what his shops look like, his retail stores for Third Man, or his pressing plant, or any of that stuff, you can just tell that it is a labor of love across the board, and that's what really makes me appreciate what he does. So I'm going to dive into some of these albums. I don't have them in any particular order necessarily, and to be honest, it's been a while since I've gone through some of these, especially some of the box sets. So I'm excited to kind of go through and reminisce a little bit, because I've had a lot of these for many years. I'll talk about his Vault subscription. If you're not a member there, we can talk about that, because many of these do come from that, which I think is a great thing that he started many years ago. But let's dive in and start going through. I'm going to start with 7-inch singles. I don't have a ton of these, but I did want to dig them out because Third Man has a ton of 7 inches in their catalog. Obviously, going back to the White Stripes original stuff, all the way through to current day, they put out as many 7 inches as they do 12 inches in box sets and things like that. So thought I'd start there. This is, I think, mostly Jack related stuff. First one I've got here is a Dead Weather single. This is Impossible Winter and Mile Markers, and as you can tell, a pretty cool kind of orange and black swirl vinyl. I love the Dead Weather. I'll talk about it more when we get into the full-length albums, but probably one of the more, I guess if you could call one of Jack's projects obscure, I guess this would be the one, because it doesn't quite get as much attention. Here's another one. Oh, this is another copy, same one, just without this one has the cover on it. But the Dead Weather is a little bit underappreciated, and just because it doesn't get the exposure that Raconteurs get, I would say. And rightfully so, because Brendan Vincent of Raconteurs is a phenomenal songwriter on his own. But here is Blue Orchard with The Nurse. Love the artwork on the Get Behind Me Satan era stripe stuff. This is Rated X with Whispering Sea. Some of these probably came along with some of the Vault sets. Some of them are independent releases. I think there's one of these in here that's like a Christmas release. I think this is that here. Yeah, Merry Christmas from the White Stripes. Let's see what's on this one. This has been like I said, it's been a while since I've dug through many of these. This is Story of Maggie and Silent Night and Candy Cane Children. One of the things I love about Jack and Third Man is the aesthetic they put out visually. So not only obviously have they kind of pioneered the colored vinyl movement. They were one of the first labels to really dive in there. But they also do a great job as far as the artwork and the printing and packaging and just, again, everything, all of the small details that a vinyl nerd like myself really appreciates, from, you know, matching the label with the 45 jacket like that. Those are the things that really just get me excited. And again, that's because I love that type of thing. I love the fact that he puts so much attention to detail into his releases. This is the White Stripes Let's Shake Hands and Look Me Over Closely. So a couple of single tracks there. This is Would You Fight For Me and Parallel. This is, I believe, from the Blunderbuss era, if I'm not mistaken. A great solo record. And once again, iconic Third Man label. I love that. I like that they've stuck with the same, the traditional label for the vast majority, if not all, of the 7-inch singles. Again, similar to what labels did back in the day, whether it was Atlantic or Columbia, you know, certainly Blue Note, all very, very stylistically the same design labels. Here's one. This is the Dead Weather Cop and Go, which is a great song, and I Feel Love. Two really great tracks by the Dead Weather, and that's on a kind of, again, a dark orange and black swirl. And here we've got Hotel Yorba, of course. This is a red vinyl, and there you go. So a few 7 inches. These are fun. There's, like I mentioned, a massive amount of these if you want to get into collecting Jack White and Third Man related 7 inches. There's a ton. All right, so let's take a quick break from White Stripes and Jack White, and we will dive into just a handful of the other albums I have. Some of these did come from the Vault series, and so if you don't know, the Vault series is a subscription service that you can sign up for at any time. It costs, I think, $75 a quarter, so 25 bucks a month, and you get one unique package per month. And it's typically, it can be a box set or it can just be a single album. Always comes with extras, always very unique. Sometimes it's an exclusive variant, meaning that particular album may come out as a broader release, and sometimes it's the only way to get a particular album. So highly recommend it. You can stop and start it at any time, so you can get in, and if there's a certain release that you're not excited about, you can pause your subscription and then re-sign up later. So I've done that a couple times over the years just because I haven't been into it. But let's dive into this first one. This is Johnny Cash, A Night to Remember, May 5th, 1973. A really cool package. As you can see, very nice artwork, all of the kind of gold foil, if you will. I can't remember, this is on a clear vinyl. Really nice kind of milky clear gatefold package. Just an awesome set. So that's what I love the fact that Jack doesn't always, obviously he's a very modern day current artist, but he goes back into the quote unquote vault, if you will, and brings out stuff like classic albums that have never been released from Johnny Cash, like this live set. So that's really cool. This is another one, Neil Young, A Letter Home. This is a really unique one. If you don't know, in Jack's Nashville retail store, there is a phone booth, which this is a photo of it here, and they've adapted it into a recording studio, meaning you can go into this booth and hit record and record just a couple minutes of a song, and it automatically cuts it to a 45 single and spits it out, right? Just unbelievable, right? So they've had the likes of Neil Young go into the booth, if you will, and record. So I think he recorded, this is a full-length album he recorded there, but a lot of the singles are done in that booth because you can go in there and cut one track. And just it's very Carnival-esque, if you will, but I just love the concept and love that he keeps that stuff alive. All right, this is Bob Dylan, Springtime in New York. So I'm starting with Cash, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, all the classic, iconic artists. This is a bootleg series. Bob's bootleg series has a ton of volumes. This is volume 16. I think maybe the latest. This is from 1980 through 1985. This is a 4 LP set, and is tons of outtakes and acoustic tracks from the early 80s period of Bob Dylan, which is an acquired taste. Not my favorite period of Dylan, but I am somewhat of a completionist when it comes to Dylan, and I do appreciate some of the tracks on this one. So That was one I picked up. This is an artist, Loretta Lynn, Vanillere Rose. As I'm filming this, Loretta just recently passed away. This is a really cool album. I believe this was a part of the Vault series, and this was produced by Jack, and even guest stars Jack, and he's on the back. It's a beautiful, again, gold stamping on the artwork, and it's a translucent gold LP, which is just beautiful. And it's a great record too. If you're into kind of classic country sound, would definitely recommend checking that out. Next on the list. Oh, okay. So if I'm, of course I'm going to have a Pearl Jam record in here. This is actually a fantastic record. This is Pearl Jam live at Third Man. This is recorded June 9th, 2016. Gatefold, which features the tape strip on the board from when they recorded it. And so the other thing, I mentioned the booth that Jack has in a retail store. He also has a venue inside of that retail where a lot of performers will actually stop by and play live sets, and I've got a few of those we're going to talk through. This is one of my favorites, of course, because it is Pearl Jam. This is a really unique show. I'm not sure if they played more than this in the during the live set. I don't think they did. I think it was pretty abbreviated, but it came out around the time of Lightning Bolt. So you've got tracks like Pendulum and Mind Your Manners, but then you've got some pretty deep cuts. The song Half Full from Riot Act, Life Wasted from the self-titled record, Deep from 10, not a song they play very often. Hard to Imagine, B-side, and Let Me Sleep, a B-side. And then the crowning jewel of this one is a song called Of the Earth, where Jack White guests on the guitar. And it's important because it's never been released other than on this recording as far as vinyl is concerned. I think it's come out on just a handful of their bootleg CDs and downloads that you can get, but as far as on vinyl, and it's certainly with Jack sitting in, this is the only version. And it's on a beautiful black and orange translucent vinyl, so one of the cooler pressings in my opinion. Just an absolutely beautiful set. So I do have, I think, just a handful of others of the live at Third Man sessions, which are cool. There's a lot of those as well. Let me grab a few of those as well, and we'll talk through those. Next up, we got Mudhoney following suit right after Pearl Jam. Obviously an iconic alternative grunge band from the Seattle area. This was, let's see if there's a date on this one, recorded live in Nashville, September 26, 2013. This is a black vinyl, I believe. I love the fact too, like again, I'm going to nerd out, but I like the fact that on the live series, on a lot of them, they actually do the center hole cut on the 12 LP jacket, which is pretty unique, mainly to 12-inch singles a lot of times. But he went ahead and did the whole live series, and the majority of them have that cutout hole, which is really neat. This is another one I have. Jack Johnson live at Third Man. Love this set. Same thing, black vinyl. This has got all kinds of hits from Jack. Banana Pancakes, I Got You, Good People. He covers We're Gonna Be Friends by the White Stripes, which is really cool. Upside Down, Mud Football. So great live Jack Johnson set. And most of the live at Third Man stuff is still in print, so you can pick those up pretty easily. So. All right, let's segue into, I think I've got a couple. Yeah, let's do the Dead Weather. So I've got the Dead Weather's 2 full-length albums. This is Whorehound. I can't speak highly enough about either of the Dead Weather records. I think Whorehound's probably the best of the 2. I guess I just have the 2. I'm not sure if I'm missing any, but love this record. I think I mentioned some of these on the 12-inch single. 60 Feet Tall, I Cut Like a Buffalo. Jack played that live on the recent tour, which is really cool. Rockin' Horse, New Pony. So really cool album, and again, pretty underrated. Not incredibly hard to find on vinyl because it's still in print. But then this is Dodge and Burn. Now this is, I think this was a Vault edition. It's hard to see, but this is like a glitter effect that they have actually pasted on here, which is very unique. It's actually stood the test of time pretty well. This came out in 2015. The other thing that this had, which is really cool, which doesn't work anymore, is you used to open it and it would scream. It has a little sensor in here, like what you would find on like a Hallmark card that you would open where it would play a little tune. It's got one of those in here, but the battery died after all these years. And I don't think I opened it that many times. But anyway, so unfortunately that doesn't work anymore, but it is still a really cool set and a really cool album. It's on a similar kind of black and orange marble, if you will. So super cool. Colored vinyl as usual. Jack's talked about how, you know, the entire craze of what is happening now in the industry, and it's been happening for several years as far as the different colored variants and all that. That's something that he really pioneered. You know, there's colored vinyl going all the way back to the 60s and 70s, so he didn't pioneer colored vinyl by any means. What he pioneered was the idea of many, many different variants of a specific album, which I think within reason is a really cool thing. I think it can go kind of a little bit idiocracy when you get too deep into that and you do like 20 of them, but I like having an option, and I think most people do, to have a colored version of a specific album. So all right, how about some Raconteurs now? This is Raconteurs, I believe, live in Tulsa, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, the artwork's tricky here. This is recorded October of 2019. I think it's a 3 LP set. Yeah, live in Tulsa. All of them are 3 different colors. As usual, this is an incredible package. Triple gate fold, as you can tell. This has got everything from the Raconteurs' few records, as you'd expect. This was recorded at Kane's Ballroom, a really iconic venue in Tulsa, iconic venue for the South at least. I've had the opportunity to play there a long time ago. Really cool place. So that's a cool live set, and I don't think it says which vault it was. That's the thing. All of the vault albums come with like a strip, a paper strip of info. I'll try and pull one of those out as I get to one. So. All right, this is quite a gem. This is Help Us Stranger, the Raconteurs, I guess their 3rd album. Came out in 2019. This is TMR 600. I don't know if this was a vault or not. It might have been. So this is really unique for a couple reasons. One, it's the only version that is on this really kind of cool, almost a tie-dyed type of green and black, and it's got a little translucency to it, which is really cool. The other reason why this is a unique version of this album is because it's got the holograph, which if I turn it the right way, maybe you can see it there, or hologram, I should say. And then if you peel, I'm not going to do it, but there is actually this is kind of like a sticker on top of here, where you've got that effect. And if you peel it off, it's actually a butcher cover. And what I mean by that is underneath this is the band, the Raconteurs, reenacting the photo from the Beatles Yesterday and Today with all of the raw meat that they did from their album back in the day that got banned and is now one of the most famous and collectible albums in the world. So they replicated that, and so you don't know it unless you peel this off, obviously, and I'm not going to do that, but you can look it up. Google the Raconteurs butcher cover, and it's pretty cool to look up. I'll put a picture of it up too, so you can see what it would look like if I were to peel my copy of Help Us Stranger, which I'm not. So that's really unique and a pretty tough one to find. All right, and then I've got Raconteurs studio albums. We have Consolers of the Lonely and Broken Boy Soldier, both really nice packages. Triple gatefold on Consolers of the Lonely, and Broken Boy Soldier has more of the gold kind of gold foil artwork, which are just really nice. My favorite Raconteurs record is definitely Consolers of the Lonely. It just really hits hard and has always been one of my faves. So. All right, let's get into some Jack White solo stuff now. Then we'll move into White Stripes, and then we'll do the bigger box sets at the end as kind of the grand finale, if you will. This is Jack's acoustic recordings. This is a really nice 2 LP, 26 tracks on this. Came out in 2016, and it is a mix of acoustic versions, as you would expect. It's almost all stripped down. There's also some previously unreleased stuff from the White Stripes and a lot from his solo records as well. So if you're a fan, this is definitely one to check out. Really cool, chill listen because it's all acoustic. All right, next on the list, we've got, let's see if I can go in some sort of chronological order. I don't think I have Jack's latest even in here because it's still in my new arrivals, but that's all right. We have got Fear of Dawn. I've got two different versions of Fear of Dawn. This is the indie exclusive version, I believe. This is on a blue kind of marble swirl. And then I've got the, I think this was the Third Man edition, which came with a screen printed jacket. So instead of a digitally printed jacket, they actually screen print some of their jackets, which is really cool. And this one is on more of a kind of a royal translucent blue. So just super cool. Again, attention to detail. No one screen prints jackets anymore. That's a Third Man thing, or I'm sure there's some DIY punk rockers doing it, but you know, he, as far as someone doing it on mass scale, is pretty unique, right? Then we've got, let's see, this is Boarding House Reach, probably one of his least known solo records, but still got some great tracks on here. Connected by Love, I think, was the one single. There's some really weird tracks and instrumentation on this one. Super experimental record for him. So this is a 2018 release from Jack. We have got, let's see, I'm blanking on the name of this one. Lazaretto, of course, yes. This is, of everything here, probably the most unique LP because this is known as the Ultra LP. Came out in 2014, and this is another one where you'll have to look it up when you get done with my video. Go hit YouTube and just, you know, search Jack White Lazaretto Ultra LP. And you will find that this thing has so many Easter eggs, it'll blow your mind. There's a hologram in it, meaning if you spin it, there's actually, and you get at the right angle, you can see a hologram floating of an angel, which is really unique. You have to play some of the music from the middle out. So you don't place the needle at the edge, you place the middle. It's like, yeah, there's songs hidden underneath the labels if you want to risk your stylus going across paper. It's just amazing what he's done. There's a whole list of, I think, 8 or 10 different things that he built into this, as far as having locked grooves, as far as where the music keeps repeating, and just like I mentioned, there's just such cool stuff. So the creativity that goes into making something like this. Luckily, he has his own pressing plant, so he can do a lot of these things, because most pressing plants, if you ask them to do some of this stuff, they would laugh at you, or maybe they do it, but they charge you so much you would never want to. But Jack has the ability to do that stuff, and he takes full advantage, and that's why I love him. So Lazaretto is a fantastic record. The title track, Three Women, Highball Stepper, Just One Drink. This is a good example of a combination of kind of him, you know, playing electric but also acoustic all over record. So I love the instrumentation on that one. All right, Blunderbuss. This was Jack's, I think his first solo release, right? Yeah, 2012. This is 16 Saltines, Love Interruption, title track, I'm Shaken. So he still plays a ton of these songs live, as he should, thankfully so, because this is a real standout. Again, his first full-fledged solo record, which is an important one, obviously, going back to 2012. So I'd have to look up the dates as far as when he opened his pressing plant and when Third Man all really came into fruition as far as that side of the business. But I feel like this was part of that launch, or at least in the early days, but could be wrong. So, all right, now we've got some White Stripes stuff. This is, I believe this was a vault edition of the White Stripes Greatest Hits. Yes. So the White Stripes Greatest Hits is a readily available LP as far as normal pressings are concerned. This was the special edition they put out, once again, triple, so it's not a triple gatefold, double gatefold with unique artwork for this pressing. And then you've got an LP on white, as you would assume. And I believe the other ones are red and black, or some combination thereof. So you've got a red, white, and black splatter, and then you've got a opaque red. So really cool set. The other thing this came with, and this is one of the, I talked about the Ultra LP being so unique, but when's the last time you've seen one of these with an album, if ever? I don't even think it exists. I've never, first of all, here's that strip it comes with. So most of the vault releases come with this strip, which is like a torn strip with information about which vault it is. So this was vault package number 46. It says it's 2 LP with bonus third LP plus 3 prints and lyric magnets. And then you got info on the back. So these are the prints, which are just really, you know, really well done. It looks pretty sure these are screen printed as well. just on thick, heavy cardstock, so kind of collectible things. And then you got the magnet. So check this out. So this is, I believe what this is all of the names of the songs on a magnet sheet. So the idea is, if you can think back to when you used to put magnets all over your refrigerator, you could put these on your fridge and you could make up, the names of the songs or any other words you want. So completely useless, but really cool. And I don't know how they think of this stuff, right? That's again, the creativity that goes into all of these releases is pretty unmatched as far as I'm concerned. I've seen some pretty cool stuff in regards to records and box sets and all that, but I think Jack sets the bar pretty high when it comes to unique extras, if you will, and inserts and things like that. So, I mean, even just the piece of paper that comes along is a nice cardstock with nice printing, and it's just really well done. So again, total nerd when it comes to all that stuff. Under Great White Northern Lights, this is really cool. This is a live set. The year looks hard to find on this one, so I'm not sure exactly when it came out, but it's a TMR 15, it says, and not seeing a year, but this was a document of a Canadian tour that him and Meg did. And there's a companion movie that goes along with it, which is incredible. They go into all these really, really small bars. They play in public parks. They go to schools. Anywhere they can go, they set up and play, and they recorded it all. So the visual is awesome with it, as you'd imagine. This was the 2007 Canadian tour, and this is obviously the soundtrack to go along with it. So some really cool versions of classic White Stripes songs. Blue Orchard, Icky Thump, Ball and Biscuit, obviously Seven Nation Army, Jolene, that's a cool one on here. I just don't know what to do with myself. So really cool live set if you're into Jack's stuff. Here's the other version. Here's the standard version of Greatest Hits. So I do have the normal version. Let me see if this is colored or just black. Yeah, this is the black vinyl. So this is what the normal Greatest Hits look like, which is also a really cool gatefold package with archival photos of Jack and Meg. So I need to put that one with the other hits. All right, moving right along. This is Live at the Gold Dollar. Early White Stripes recording. Let's see if there's a date on this one. This is TMR 345. Doesn't say when it was recorded. I'm pretty sure the Gold Dollar was a famous club in Detroit where the band cut their teeth. And this is, as you can see, a beautiful translucent red and black marble LP. Love the cover shot of the flag and the guitars on the ground. Those early White Stripe shows when they were still kind of in their club days, which I wasn't fortunate enough to see. But man, you can look up video of some of that stuff, and you talk about raunchy garage rock. That's what it was all about back then. So, all right, then I've got standard pressings of the catalog. So Get Behind Me, Satan. This is, sorry, these album names are blanking on me now. Icky Thump. We've got White Blood Cells. I think this is a standard version. Let's see. Yeah, standard black version of White Blood Cells. Arguably their best album, but that's very debatable because you also have an album like Elephant, which is incredible as well. I think these are all standard. This is a special one here. This is a split red and black version of Elephant, which is the album that features Seven Nation Army. In the Cold Cold Night, that's a cool song. Ball and Biscuit, I mentioned that one before. The Hardest Button to Button, so just a fantastic record. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but what can I say? I'm a fan. All right, now to the earlier records. This is a Vinyl Me Please edition, so technically I guess not a third man, although if it's coming out, it's still TMR 032, so it is still a third man, even though it's a Vinyl Me Please exclusive of their album Distill, and this one's on a black and red splatter, which is really cool. And last but not least, we go to the very early self-titled record of the White Stripes, which I love the artwork because Jack just looks so young because he is so young. This is standard black pressing of this one, and I love the pinwheel. Just so cool. Jimmy the Exploder. It's a great track. Screwdriver. Sugar Never Tasted So Good. So plenty of good stuff on there. All right, so that's my my collection of just mainly LPs. Now, if you get into the vault, I've only got, it looks like 5 vault box sets. I'm going to attack them in no particular order. This is Distill. I believe this is the 20th anniversary of Distill. All of these are very unique. That's the thing. When you see if you see a lot of vinyl box sets, which I do because I own a lot and also sell a lot, so I'll unbox a lot of them. And by and large, there's a handful, let's say 5 or 7 different kind of standard packagings for box sets, right? Jack does not believe in anything standard, so just about every one of these is completely custom. There's a few that are standard, but like this one, for instance, you've got you've got a top loader right here, which is where this hefty book is contained. Then you've got a die cut kind of book, portion of the box. Sorry, I'm having trouble spitting out my words. Where you've got the LPs, and when you pull the LP out, you've got artwork on the back and the inside, just because why the hell not? So again, just the attention to detail and everything he does is really inspiring, I guess would be one word for it for me. And then you flip the page and now you've got the white version with the white LP. So again, just really well done as far as the packaging is concerned. And all, of course, they sound great as well. I mean, Third Man is, I don't know if one of the longest standing plants in the US, but certainly one of the most popular in regards to if you want a record press there, you're gonna have to wait to get it. So this is live at the Masonic Temple, Detroit, 2014 on his solo tour. Looks like this is 1, 2, 3, 4 LP. Really nicely done artwork. You've got a bonus 7-inch single of Jack performing on Saturday Night Live in 2020, which is really cool. So this is featuring Don't Hurt Yourself, Ball and Biscuit, Jesus Is Coming Soon, and Lazaretto. There's that paper strip that I mentioned. This is vault number 47. And then you've got really nice photography on all of the LPs. I mean, come on. Just beautiful photography and artwork across all of these. And of course, you've got, let's see, so I'll just go through each one. So we've got a black vinyl version, a black vinyl LP. You've got the white vinyl. Let's see, surely we're going to have a blue. There's the opaque blue. And I would assume we'd have, yeah, some sort of swirl or split. And there's a beautiful kind of a baby blue swirl. So super cool set. The sound is actually interesting on this one. It's a little rough, I would say, but I think they kind of did that on purpose. It's a pretty raw performance, and I feel like the production style was specific to fit this set. So that's my opinion on it. I need to listen to it again though. It's been a while. All right, this one we've got Under Amazonian Lights. This is really cool. So I've got a couple live sets. This is live at the Teatro Amazonas Opera House in Manaus, Brazil, 2005. This is a more standard box set because it's just got the kind of the lid that comes off. Oh, I forgot to put these back into the Masonic Temple. 1 second, let me do that. And so those go back in there. All right. Now this set here, obviously very unique artwork across the board. Let's see what we've got in here. So we've got a DVD, which I've never opened because I don't own a DVD player. You've got some prints, some cards. You've got a pin, which is really unique. They do that. He does that a lot. It'll include patches and pins and obviously stickers and things like that. So really cool. And then the LP, I believe the double LP. Oh, so you've got more in here. Sorry, I missed it. So you've got another lithograph, screen printed, of course. You've got a bonus 7-inch featuring Ain't No Sweater Than Rita Blues, Ain't No Sweeter Than Rita Blues, and Let You Down, which is on white vinyl. And the LP itself, which is also feels like a screen printed jacket for sure. Just nice heavy print. And this is a double LP on marble red wax, which is really cool. So again, all completely unique and custom made stuff. I can't even imagine how much fun their graphic design department has and packaging department, because it's so much fun just to look through them, much less design these things on your own. So here's the 20th anniversary of White Blood Cells. This is a similar package to the Distill. There's your info paper. We've got the making of DVD, which is in the back of this really nicely done booklet, which features tons of like iconic posters from White Stripes shows from this era. Just really unique photography, most of which has probably never been released until they put together these Vault Series things. So lots of behind the scenes stuff. So if you're a Jack White fan, man, these things are an absolute gold mine, as you would imagine. And let's see, we've got a white LP on White Blood Cells, and then we've got a red LP as well. So love the aesthetic as normal, and Jack really. If anyone sticks with a theme, it would certainly be Jack and the White Stripes, because of the color palette they chose and tied to the band name, and just fits everything they do. So see if I can get this back in the sleeve. I'm gonna have to abort that one and put that one back in later. I've got one more vault, and I did save one of my favorite ones for the very end. This is Jack White live from Bonnaroo in Tennessee, 2014. This is one of my favorite sets. It is an incredible show, 3 LPs from one of the bigger festivals in the United States. It's got another kind of holographic cover on the TV there. We've got a really nice double-sided lithograph print. Let's see the LPs I'll dive into, but first we've got all kinds of other goodies. All right, so we have got, like I mentioned, patch. We have got Jack White 2014 World Tour sticker. This album is dedicated to Isaiah Ike Owens. I'm not sure who that is, but certainly someone that was important to Jack in this project. And then we've got a DVD of this one. I have seen this DVD because I've had this one long enough to where I still had a DVD player hooked up and all that. And then you've got an envelope here with photos from the show. Obviously very cool, especially if you were at this show. Which I was not, but man, I bet that was phenomenal. So I've always wanted to go to Bonnaroo. It looks like one of the better festivals in the U.S. And then you've got 3 LPs. You've got a black, you've got a baby blue kind of swirl splatter, and then you've got a white. So beautiful set, one of my favorites. You can look up this live set again because there is a DVD. You can check it out. It's probably on YouTube or wherever, but really cool set. So there you go. That is just a taste of what Jack White offers from Third Man Records. I'm certain that there are people watching this video who have much larger collections than me. I've just got a crate of LPs and then 5 or 6 box sets, but love all of this stuff. I plan on continuing to be a Vault member just because it's super fun to come see what they come out with on a quarterly basis. And like I mentioned, if it's not something that you want, you can always pause your subscription. So I would highly recommend checking it out, keeping tabs, get on their email list so you can see what they announce. And they always give you a cutoff date where you can sign up for the Vault by a certain date to get a certain release. So it's really cool, really well done. They have great customer service. And so there you go. Love Jack and love what he's done. Appreciate you watching as always. Would love to hear what your favorite Third Man releases are that I do or do not have. Maybe there's more out there I need to check out. I'm sure there is. It's a pretty endless game if you're going to collect Third Man stuff because they put out a lot of great records. So we'll see you again next time. This has been Talking About Records. My name is G.I. Sanders. I'll pop up some more content for you as usual. Thanks for all the support, and we'll see you soon.